What makes Berlin so special is the fact that it's a metropolitan city. You have all those beautiful, gorgeous people who basically moved here from somewhere else in the world. When you don't have that stress and extra weight of family and prejudice and what would this say and what would that say, plus the fact that Berlin itself is very welcoming and very inclusive, it gives a safe ground and safe space to explore your queerness. And I'm super grateful for that. In Berlin, there is a drag show every single night of the week. It's more than amazing to me because that means that the queer community is alive.
Nazis came to power in January 1933, and they very soon, in between half a year, disturbed the whole infrastructure which had been built for LGBTQ persons in the 20s. In the 20s there had been several papers for lesbians, for the so-called third sex, for gay people, and this very quickly and very soon stopped. After the Nazis came to power, they first raided meeting places and arrested people and threw them to the first unofficial concentration camps and labor camps and prisons. All the organizations which existed kicked them out of society, saying these are enemies of the state. And what do you have to do with enemies? You have to separate them, otherwise the state will fail. This was the strategy to kick them out of society.
This conference is called the Archives, Libraries, Museums and Special Collections Conference. It is a grassroots, self-organised conference of predominantly small community archives and collections of historical material. When we go back into the past and look for our histories, it is very, very important that we have something to base those histories upon. But it needs to be material that allows us to understand how sexual and gender diversity has been lived in the past. Is because it is still marginalised. People are still oppressed. One of the most powerful tools that we have against social discrimination is being able to tell a strong historical story of existence and defiance and resistance to oppression. On this very spot, the Institute for Sex Research, which was established by Magnus Hirschfeld. Magnus Hirschfeld was a German doctor and sexologist. He was a sex researcher, really a path-breaking advocate for creating resources that tell the stories of queer lives. In 1919, he founded an institute on this spot up until it was destroyed by the Nazis in 1933. It had a short lifespan of 14 years, but in those 14 years it became one of the most important hubs of research and advocacy. It wasn't in the form of a political riot, but Magnus Hirschfeld was definitely part of a political movement. I say that very seriously. It was a social movement for sexual liberation.
Every school has to name one person who is responsible for diversity. They have to take care that every class goes to a museum or goes to like an educational queer organization so that they get in touch with LGBTIQ topics.
Don't just take drag as this gorgeous thing that it is, because it's really fun to play dress up and to wear makeup. It's a political statement. I use that voice that I have to promote messages of love and acceptance. I want to encourage other people to do the same.